Hey everyone! Today we're taking you behind the scenes of the legendary show Hardcore Pawn, the series that captivated TV audiences, to uncover where the stars are today and what they're up to. Let's dive into this unexpected journey. Join us as we reveal the untold stories of the Hardcore Pawn stars and the shocking twists their lives took after the spotlight faded. From intense conflicts to life-altering choices, you won't believe where they are now. If you've never seen Hardcore Pawn, now's your chance to uncover the surprising and fascinating behind-the-scenes stories of its stars. Drop a 0 in the comments if you're curious about where they are now, or a 1 if you've got some thrilling guesses. Be sure to like and share so everyone can join in on the excitement. The Gold family, pawnbrokers who shot to fame through Hardcore Pawn, were once central figures in America's jewelry and pawn loan scene. Known for their fiery TV arguments, the real drama unfolded off-camera. Les Gold, the pawn shop owner, lost $500,000 in a scam, while his daughter Ashley left the family business behind. Meanwhile, one crew member is reportedly making $900,000 a year on OnlyFans. Now, 15 years after Hardcore Pawn first aired, the hidden feuds, allegedly staged scenes, and untold stories of other crew members are finally being revealed. The idea for Hardcore Pawn began in 1998 when producer Richard Dominic saw a local Detroit ad featuring Les Gold while watching The Jerry Springer Show. Les's distinctive voice, strong presence, and unique energy left a lasting impression on Dominic. However, it took over a decade before True TV finally greenlit the show in 2009, bringing cameras into Les's pawn shop. Despite his family's concerns about exposing their personal lives and customers on national TV, Les was determined to make it happen. On August 16, 2010, Hardcore Pawn premiered, drawing 2 million viewers on its first night, making it True TV's highest-rated debut ever. American Jewelry and Loan, which had opened in 1978 at Detroit's Green 8 shopping center, was already a local staple. By 1993, the shop had relocated to a massive 50,000-square-foot space on 8 Mile Road, serving about 1,000 customers a day. The show captured unfiltered moments, irate customers, explosive arguments, security stepping in, and some individuals being dragged out shouting, all caught on camera. Unlike Pawn Stars, which centered on rare items and calm transactions, Hardcore Pawn revealed the raw tension of Detroit's pawn industry, where money was tight and emotions ran high. Les Gold maintained that the show was a true reflection of the business, emphasizing its authenticity. This approach paid off. By June 2013, the show had attracted over 3 million viewers per episode, with the season 6 finale drawing 3.4 million, making it the highest-rated unscripted show on cable during its Tuesday time slot. By 2014, things began to change. Viewership dropped in Season 9, and many started to question the show's authenticity. Some scenes appeared staged, with a critic from the New York Post openly calling it out. While the Gold family denied the accusations, the doubts lingered. At the same time, Rich Pyle, a familiar face on the show, left to host a new series, Meltdown, on National Geographic, leaving fans with the sense that Hardcore Pawn was beginning to unravel. Behind the scenes, True TV began to shift its direction. In May 2013, Chris Lynn took over as president. feeling the channel had focused too much on conflict and aiming for a more light-hearted comedic approach. By April 2014, truTV announced a full rebrand, highlighting shows like Impractical Jokers. In October 2014, the channel launched its Way More Fun campaign, temporarily rebranding as New truTV. As the network moved away from serious reality shows, hardcore porn no longer fit the new direction, leading to its cancellation. After hardcore porn ended, the Gold family and crew parted ways. By 2021, as many businesses faced struggles post-pandemic, Les Gold expanded his empire. He opened 3 new pawn shops in Southgate, Lincoln Park, and Hazel Park, building on a 2019 strategy and taking advantage of low commercial real estate prices. Les personally handled the lease negotiations, with assistance from his son Seth, leveraging the family's TV fame to secure favorable terms. The new pawn shops followed the same model as the original Detroit store, focusing on direct customer transactions, the approach that made hardcore pawn a hit. These new locations created nearly 200 jobs across Wayne County. In 2016, Les Gold also surprised everyone by appearing on Food Network's Chopped. Despite his career as a pawnbroker, Les had learned to cook as a child in Detroit while his parents worked long hours at the shop. This appearance showed a different side of him, far removed from his hardcore pawn persona. Les Gold, owner of American Jewelry and Loan, grew up immersed in his grandfather's pawnshop business. With his parents busy, Les learned to cook as a child, mastering not just basic meals, but traditional Mediterranean recipes passed down from his grandfather. On Chopped in 2016, Les used these culinary skills to impress the judges. He tackled the cooking challenge like a business deal, thinking quickly, making confident choices, and staying calm under pressure. Although he didn't win, Les showcased a side of himself far removed from his hardcore pawn persona. If you're a hardcore pawn fan, you won't want to miss these behind-the-scenes stories of the stars. Leave a 2 in the comments if you want to explore their journeys further, or a 5 if you think there's nothing left to surprise you. Be sure to like and share so your friends can join in too. In December 2022, Les Gold hosted a charity auction at his main Detroit pawn shop to raise funds for the Heat and Warm Fund, called Hardcore Thaw. In just 3 hours, he raised $40,000 by auctioning 25 items donated by local sports stars and celebrities. One of the highlights was a signed Red Wings jersey which sold for $7,800. Les ran the auction with the same approach he uses in his business, making quick offers, applying direct pressure, and taking bold actions. When the total reached $35,000, Les quietly added $5,000 of his own, without drawing attention to himself, driven by his desire to help those struggling through Michigan's harsh winter. Rumors of bankruptcy arose from a 2018 scam in which Les lost $500,000, but it didn't bring him down. By 2025, his net worth remained steady at $5 million, with his pawn shops continuing to thrive. His book, For What It's Worth, reached number 4 on the New York Times bestseller list. Les's shops still operate on their traditional business model, focusing on direct customer transactions, while also adapting to modern trends to stay competitive. When Seth Gold joined American Jewelry and Loan in 2009, he didn't just step into a family role, he brought a fresh perspective. While Les had run the pawn shop for decades, Seth recognized a key gap. The business lacked an online presence in the digital age. He took a bold step by launching their first e-commerce platform, a risky move at the time since most pawn shops relied solely on in-person customers. The decision paid off. By 2018, the online segment accounted for 30% of total revenue, allowing the shop to operate 24/7, well beyond the physical store's 9-hour days. The growth of their online presence fueled American Jewelry and Loan's expansion, leading to new locations in Hazel Park and Pontiac. The company achieved an impressive 20% annual growth rate, with total revenue ranging from $5 to $10 million, a remarkable accomplishment for a Detroit pawn shop. In 2013, Seth was named National Pawnbroker of the Year at the Las Vegas Pawn Expo, the industry's highest honor. He earned this recognition not just through strong sales, but by transforming the pawn shop's image with improved media coverage, enhanced community outreach, and modern business practices. In 2014, Seth partnered with Stefan Kogler to launch Power to the Grid, a job program designed for people with autism. They opened a training center inside the pawn shop, focusing on hiring based on skills rather than traditional resumes. One of the first hires was Michael Sancho, a Western Michigan University graduate with photography and Photoshop skills, but no stable job. Seth gave him a chance, and Michael's work enhanced the shop's online listings. This initiative wasn't just charity, it was a smart business move, as these employees provided real value to the company. By late 2018, Seth started planning a second Detroit pawn shop specializing in luxury goods like designer watches and fine jewelry. Unlike the 8 Mile location, which catered to clients without bank accounts, this new venture targeted a high-end clientele. Analyzing data, Seth found silver and diamonds outsold gold 3-to-1, confirming strong demand. In 2019, he opened Fast Pawn alongside PawnMate Inc., an online platform allowing customers to extend loans or make payments remotely, simplifying the experience and advancing Seth's vision of revolutionizing the pawn industry. Ashley Gold was a central figure on Hardcore Pawn, from its debut on August 16, 2010, to its finale on April 6, 2015, across 9 seasons and 162 episodes. She worked with her father Les and brother Seth at American Jewelry and Loan, a sprawling 150,000-square-foot store on Detroit's 8 Mile Road. To audiences, the shop appeared chaotic, filled with heated deals and disputes. Ashley provided equilibrium, blending sharp business acumen with the Gold family's relatable human touch. The environment at American Jewelry and Loan was intense, buzzing with disputes and high-stakes deals. For Ashley Gold, it grew exhausting. By 2015, she reached her limit. Each day blurred into the next, waking up, slipping into the same black sweater, jeans, and shoes, and reliving the same cycle. In a 2016 interview, Ashley dubbed it her Groundhog Day moment. She saw her health declining, her family life unraveling, and her happiness fading. Strained relations with her father Les and clashes with her brother Seth only deepened the strain. On Hardcore Pawn, Ashley and Les frequently butted heads both on-screen and off. Seth's forward-thinking marketing strategies often clashed with Les's old-school methods, placing Ashley in the crossfire. The cameras captured every argument, transforming family disputes into TV drama. Overwhelmed, Ashley stepped away in early 2015. Leaving the family business was painful, But she yearned to be more than just Les Gold's daughter. She sought a life of her own, free from the glare of hardcore pawn's spotlight. In late 2015, Ashley launched Pawn Chick Shopping, an online venture showcasing new jewelry she handpicked. Traveling across the U.S., she sourced distinctive designs, offering around 500 pieces ranging from $15 costume jewelry to $3,000 luxury items. Her keen aesthetic earned customers' trust, leading her to create pieces for celebrities and build a national following. By 2019, she rebranded as ashleygold.com and clinched the Verge pitch competition by the Detroit Garment Group, cementing her status in the fashion world. In 2019, Ashley capitalized on her TV recognition, appearing on CNN, Fox News, HLN, Good Morning America, and The Today Show to carve out a fresh career path. In March 2020, she debuted the Pawn Chick Radio podcast, hosting weekly discussions with guests on fashion and personal journeys. She also addressed hardcore pawn, admitting some scenes were scripted. In one podcast, guest Big Daddy disclosed that producers coached people on what to say, amplifying conflict for drama, unlike Pawn stars, which emphasized item history and value. In 2020, the pandemic reshaped Ashley's world. With school shut, she supported her two kids, ages 13 and 15, through virtual learning. Free from 70-hour work weeks and constant filming, Ashley embraced motherhood, chauffeuring her children and aiding with schoolwork. She crafted a balanced life, managing ashleygold.com while prioritizing family. Stepping away from hardcore pawn granted her the liberty and joy to build her career on her own terms. Rich Pyle dedicated 25 years to American jewelry and loan, joining young and remaining steadfast. By 2012, he was a recognizable figure on hardcore pawn, sporting spiked hair, a long goatee, and a bold presence. That year, a minor on-screen dispute hinted at deeper trouble. An internal audit flagged potential misuse of the company credit card for personal expenses and exaggerated reimbursement claims. Les challenged Rich on camera, but Rich fiercely defended himself, insisting his long-term loyalty should eclipse any errors. The dispute intensified as Seth and Ashley fueled the conflict. Les demanded Rich leave the shop at once, abruptly ending their 25-year friendship in a brief, tense on-camera clash. The next morning, October 2012, Rich returned, shaken but hopeful for reconciliation. Arriving early, he aimed to apologize and salvage his career. Seth advocated for him, arranging a meeting and highlighting Rich's expertise and customer connections. Les, however, stood firm, citing the audit and the shop's risk. In under 20 minutes, the meeting concluded, and Rich departed the business permanently. After exiting American Jewelry and Loan, Rich relocated to Los Angeles and launched a gold business, which quickly fizzled. His departure was a pivotal moment for hardcore pawn, losing a prominent character. The episode underscored the Gold family's internal strains and revealed how producers amplified conflicts for drama, creating lasting real-world impacts for those caught in the spotlight, both on and off the screen. In 2018, Rich Pyle unexpectedly stepped into the spotlight as host of Whole Nation, trailing the American Cornhole organization, ACO, nationwide for tournaments. He infused the cornhole scene with the same dynamic flair from hardcore Pawn, leading ACO Game Zone challenges and igniting events. His wife, Tracy Pyle, assisted with filming, lending the show a family-driven vibe. Whole Nation drew a fresh crowd, bringing cornhole, a sport seldom televised, to the mainstream while forging a new legacy for Rich. Over time, Rich cautiously shared insights about hardcore pawns behind the scenes, careful not to violate his contract. He suggested much of the show was orchestrated. Producers cast people off the street, handed them scripts, and secured release forms for performances. A Detroit local alleged the shop was deliberately understaffed to rile customers. Some showcased rare items were planted, sourced online by producers and brought in by arranged individuals. Rich confirmed genuine transactions occurred, but by 2013 and 2014, most big arguments were either staged or reenacted with actors. The staged drama boosted hardcore Pawn's popularity, but detached it from reality. Rich noted that conflicts were exaggerated to captivate audiences, unlike Pawn Stars, which highlighted item history and value. These disclosures clarified why fans doubted the show's authenticity, particularly in Season 9, when ratings plummeted. Despite this, Rich cherished his hardcore Pawn tenure, viewing it as a launchpad for ventures like Whole Nation and Meltdown on National Geographic. Bobby Janiak never aimed for TV fame when he joined American Jewelry and Loan during Hardcore Pawn's debut season. He simply needed a job. Seth Gold brought him on for a straightforward sales position, mainly selling T-shirts. But from his first day, Bobby was startled to encounter cameras, oblivious that the shop was on the cusp of national TV. As production rolled, his role evolved from backstage tasks to frequent on-screen moments, turning him into a fan-favorite presence. Bobby's role on Hardcore Pawn wasn't premeditated, but his authentic vibe and knack for navigating heated shop moments made him indispensable. Over time, he forged bonds with producers and the Gold family, while also observing internal strife, like the Rich Pyle fallout. Bobby later reflected that he gained deep insights into the pawn business and reality TV, but he also recognized the strain of operating in a camera-saturated environment. Bobby Janiak swiftly adjusted to Hardcore Pawn's intense setting, his lively energy shining through. After Rich Pyle's exit in 2012, Bobby stepped up, filling the void. Producers recognized his charisma and offered him more screen time, which he eagerly accepted, transforming his career. He remained at American Jewelry and Loan until 2016, staying on even after filming ended in 2015. When he departed, he left the pawn shop behind for good, closing that chapter entirely. Over time, Bobby opened up about Hardcore Pawn's behind the scenes via interviews and social media. He exposed the show's focus on drama over reality. The pawn shop itself was genuine, but its TV depiction was frequently scripted. Producers chased conflict, tension, and larger-than-life characters. Bobby revealed that supporting cast members like himself earned meager wages despite attracting millions of viewers. While the Gold family cashed in, the supporting cast saw little, with producers dangling once-in-a-lifetime opportunity rhetoric to sidestep pay increases. Bobby revealed that cast members were pressured to maintain their characters off-camera, muddling reality and performance. This constant expectation was draining. In a viral TikTok, he alluded to Rich Pile's firing, suggesting off-screen events were often more brutal than what viewers saw. These disclosures clarified why fans doubted Hardcore Pawn's authenticity and exposed the intense challenges supporting cast members endured in the show's high-stakes production environment. After departing the pawn shop, Bobby seized a golden opportunity. In 2017, Bars Products, a leading automotive maintenance company, tapped him as a spokesperson. His TV-honed charisma and on-camera ease made him ideal. The $175,000 a year deal doubled his pawn shop income. As the brand's face, he shone at trade shows and starred in over 30 commercials. By 2019, he leveraged social media to boost Bars Products, aiding distribution to over 40,000 stores nationwide while expanding his own audience. In 2021, after voicing ads for Michigan radio stations, Bobby made a surprising pivot. He started an OnlyFans account featuring sensitive content, amassing over 15,000 subscribers in 3 months at nearly $30 each. For many hardcore pawn fans, this felt like a letdown. Outrage flared on Facebook and Reddit, with critics claiming he sullied his former image. On a podcast, Bobby clarified that voiceover gigs were sporadic and poorly paid, and OnlyFans offered financial stability when opportunities were scarce. OnlyFans provided Bobby Janiak with autonomy and reliable income, a pragmatic business choice. But in September 2023, he hit a legal snag. Warner Bros. Discovery, truTV's parent, issued a 12-page cease and desist letter claiming Bobby misused hardcore pawn footage and branding on social media and his website. They cited 37 instances, including clips in a YouTube series dissecting old episodes, garnering over 500,000 views in 3 months, and screenshots and flyers for speaking engagements where he charged up to $5,000 per event. Warner Bros. Discovery emphasized that Bobby had no rights to hardcore pawn content. By November 2023, he scrubbed all show references from his online platforms to dodge a lawsuit. The ordeal underscored the legal hurdles former reality TV stars face when capitalizing on their fame. Bobby pivoted to new projects, like his Vibachin brand on Amazon, selling kitchen tools, while harnessing his infectious energy and charisma to fuel his ongoing career. In 2012, American Jewelry and Loan was rocked by a scandal involving Joel Big Joe Shannon, head of security for 3 years. Les Gold, who hired Joe and welcomed him to family events, trusted him implicitly. But hidden cameras revealed Joe pilfering scrap gold over weeks, taking small amounts to evade notice, totaling roughly $7,000. The Season 6 finale of Hardcore Pawn captured the drama, with police arresting Joe in front of Les. Les's voice quavered as he said, "This is the loyal head of security I trusted," exposing his profound betrayal. Joe was sacked immediately and charged with grand theft. His downfall aired on Hardcore Pawn. Undeterred, he launched High Gear Transportation in Livonia, Michigan in late 2016, beginning with 2 delivery trucks. By 2023, the company had expanded into a regional operation with 15 trucks, serving Midwest clients. With over 20 employees, Joe transformed himself into a respected entrepreneur, converting a public scandal into a compelling redemption narrative. Despite the betrayal, Joe kept minimal ties with the Gold family. Starting in 2019, Seth Gold engaged High Gear for deliveries between pawn shops. Rebuilding trust was slow, spanning nearly 3 years to establish a professional rapport. Joe's journey highlights resilience after a misstep, and his partial reacceptance by the Gold family, though strictly business, signals a degree of forgiveness in the unforgiving pawn industry. Fielding Felix Teichmann, beloved on Hardcore Pawn. For his cool-headedness in turmoil, vanished from the show in early 2015 without a word. Off-camera, Felix hit a wall during Season 8 contract talks, pushing for a pay bump due to his rising prominence and fan base. The production company stonewalled and tensions boiled over. In February 2015, Felix stormed off the set mid-shoot, throwing the crew into disarray with no backup plan in place. Felix enlisted a lawyer to push negotiations, but producers cut ties and moved forward. A new security team filled the gap, and the show ignored his exit. In 2016, Felix relocated to Austin, Texas, shunning interviews and fading from the spotlight. Determined to leave. Hardcore Pawn behind, he did just that. His departure underscores the harsh reality for supporting cast members in TV, where their needs are frequently overlooked. The journeys of Bobby, Joe, and Felix transcend Hardcore Pawn's scripted moments. They're real people grappling with real fallout. Beyond the staged conflicts and dramatic clips, they navigated legal battles, betrayal, and personal hardships. Their stories expose the raw truth when reality overshadows the script, leaving enduring marks both in the spotlight and beyond. Thanks for sticking with the video to the end. The post-spotlight paths of the Hardcore Pawn stars are genuinely shocking and uplifting, right? If you enjoyed this, please hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more gripping tales. Catch you in the next video.